Yeah, we were just talking about the wildfire situation and how crazy it is that they spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Not zip.
Zip. And in 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel.
What we know right now is that the incident started here, and about 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills area by citizens.
So someone purposely set the Kenneth fire?
At this time, that's what we believe, yes.
Do you know how or why they did that?
That I don't know.
Is this a crime scene right now?
Yes.
So everything's closed off?
It's being investigated as a crime.
Mom and I were sitting up in our backyard in the house here, and then next thing we hear is him yelling, neighbors, he's trying to start a fire, call 911, call 911. My mom ran out in her bathrobe ready to fight the guy, and all of the neighbors started coming out, calling 911. We really banded together as a group. A few gentlemen in the neighborhood had detained him. They had surrounded him, gotten him on his knees, and then they got some zip ties, and my stepdad came out with some rope, and we were able to do a citizen's arrest and detain him until the police had arrived. He had a like a propane tank or it's a big yellow tank, like a flamethrower basically. And the neighbor said that he saw the guy behind a van trying to light something on fire.
This was supposed to be the water to put out the Palisades fire. This is the Santa Ynez Reservoir. It's the water supply basically for the Palisades. When they first started fighting the Palisades fire, they ran out of water extremely quickly. Wednesday, 3 a.m., they were basically out. And there's been a lot of talk on why this happened. So how long has this reservoir been empty for?
Since February of last year. There was no communication from the Department of Water and Power to LAFD that there was a water supply issue.
The firefighters, when they started fighting the fires, no one informed them that the reservoir was empty. This reservoir holds 117 million gallons of water. The fire department was using a water supply from 3 backup tanks, each one only holding 1 million gallons of water. They say it's closed for maintenance to repair the lid that's on top of it. I don't know a lot about reservoir maintenance, but there's literally no construction materials or vehicles anywhere in sight. Also, with a reservoir like this, you can refill it or start to refill it. So another question is, if they saw the Santa Ana winds were coming and we have this remarkably dry wet season, why was there no attempt to start refilling it back up? I know I threw a lot out there, but I think we need some answers, guys. Some real answers here.
Oh boy. And I got some video for you here. More fires starting in California, and I know you're probably all thinking it's crazy, but I'm getting sick and tired of hearing about all the fires that are going on. And here's the deal about all this and why it's important, because it points to another larger systematic problem. And the systematic problem is these Democrats who hate this country, hate you, the taxpayer, and hate doing their job properly because they want to focus on DEI and equality and equity garbage instead of taking care of their constituents, is the reason that people are suffering through this right now. So some of the newest reports are multiple independent arsonists are now joining in and starting extra fires on their own. Because now I think with all of the fires going on, it's a little bit like it's an all or nothing situation where it's like, well, only half of California is on fire. Now I feel like we haven't gone 100% on it. So these other people are going, well, it should be all or nothing. I don't like seeing only 25 to 50% done. So one of the newest reports was a homeless guy was allegedly homeless, pouring gasoline down a sewer vent. And then setting that on fire. So he got into that. The other one was an illegal immigrant from Venezuela He was caught with the blowtorch, and that's where the I'll put the video on here. That's where the citizens made the citizens arrest to stop the guy because he was just walking around their neighborhood setting shit on fire. In the meantime, I'm on TikTok arguing with these fucking retard leftists, and all of them are going, it's MAGA guys, it's white Christian MAGA guys, and they're the ones setting the fires because they hate our state. And I'm going, you dumb fucks. We don't do that. Like, we hate you. We don't hate your state. You are the fucking morons we hate. We don't want to burn our goddamn country down. What would we do that for? You are the type of mentally ill leftists that go around and sabotage everything and destroy your own country and infrastructure because you hate the country and you want to bring in some sort of change, and you have no idea what that change is other than basically making it a tranny utopia. That's the only thing I can think of. A Mad Max movie tranny utopia. There'll be a tranny on every street corner. The whole country will be on fire. And that's the only thing I can think of that seems to make all of you guys happy. That's the only thing I've noticed. So, you've got arsonists setting all of this shit. You've got reservoirs that were out of commission and weren't available to be used. Drain the whole goddamn thing. While the Palisades Reservoir, drain the whole thing so they can make repairs. And then Democrats are coming on and making excuses about why these things aren't available. Why don't the fire hydrants have water? At one point, they were lying and saying, this is conservatives and other news sources saying that there isn't enough water. That's not true, there's water. And then 5 minutes later, another report comes in and a guy's on TV going, there's no water! They're trying to fight everything, there's no water! And then the Democrats have to come back on and go, well, there's some issue with why we don't have water, and I don't really understand it. It's, yes, you do! None of you did your job. You're getting millions upon millions or fucking billions in taxpayer dollars from everybody being overcharged in California. And the one thing that you're aware of that can be a serious problem is, one, the wildfires, two, out and out arson, or a combination of the entire thing. Maybe you should make sure there's enough water sources available to deal with this. Well, there was scheduled maintenance on the reservoir. Maybe you should have put it on the fucking priority list. How about that? And the Hollywood stars, the elites that are pissing and moaning about, they're going online and telling their sob story. We're people too. There was one fucking bitch. We're people too. You know, I'm not as rich as the other ones. It's not the same. My house was only $5 million. Theirs are way more. I'm not the same as them. Yes, bitch, you are. A $5 million home? And you know what? At the end of the day, people are on there. They're people too. I don't understand why you have to be so mean. They're people too. No, they're not. They're up there on fucking Mount Olympus, looking down on all of us. They can give a shit about you. They can give a shit about the things that are important to you. What were they doing through the last election cycle? Pushing Kamala Harris, part of the administration that has been screwing you for 4 years straight. And if they had their way, they would have put Kamala in office and given you an ass fucking for 4 more, screwing up this country, putting us in wars, taxing us and taking all our money all the way into oblivion. They're the ones who have donated to the Gavin Newsoms. They're the ones that have donated to the Karen Basses, the mayor of LA. They are the ones who have, across the board, constantly supported Democrats. And now they're turning around and going, why didn't you do anything about all this? Why wasn't there more in place to make sure that this doesn't happen? Now they're all turning on their Democratic overlords. Pissed because their fucking house burnt down. They didn't give a shit about you and me or anybody else in California until their fucking house burnt down. Their $1 million home burnt to the ground. Now that they can pour their house into a Stanley Cup, now they're pissed about what the Democrats did in California. Well, welcome to the fucking party, pal. We've been saying this for years. This is what the Democrats do. They hate this country. They hate you. And they want to take advantage of the taxpayer. They want to waste our money. They want to waste our time. They want to put it into garbage initiatives. Joe Biden on the way out the door, just to screw the American people more. He's been signing all of these bullshit executive orders to screw the American people on the way out the door. So what are some of these been? A drilling moratorium. So that in certain areas, you can't drill, get oil, or do anything for like the next 25, 30 years. All to make it like he's saving the environment. And you wonder why when you go to the pump and the price is jacked up? Because we can't drill our own oil because of Democrats. And we have to buy it from other countries who don't give a fuck about the environment, about where they drill. And then if you screw over that country or offend them or don't play ball with them with all the bullshit they're doing, well, maybe you don't get oil, or maybe they double the price of oil. And then that's the reason you go to the pump and go, why the fuck is gas $4 or $5 back when Biden was in control? But if you listen to the left, you go, well, excuse me, the president doesn't set gas prices, so what you're saying is incorrect. No, their policies can influence it. When you insult a leader from another nation that you're buying fuel from, that can screw everybody over in the United States. You don't play ball with them and do what they want or push the initiative they want. Well, there you go. Maybe we'll raise the price on oil. What are you going to do? Not buy it? Okay, go ahead and drill your own. Oh, you can't because you fucked yourselves over and you let Democrats put moratoriums on everywhere you could drill. So we can't adequately get our own oil. So when you have people online saying, well, we don't need finger pointing right now, that's not helpful. The people in California need help, and that's what we should focus on. The donations and getting them supplies and the help. No, it's quite possibly the most crucial time to do the finger pointing. Because we as human beings, we learn through pain. Stupid is supposed to hurt. So when this is happening, and the stupid is hurting right now, there's an important lesson to be learned here. I hope everyone's safe. I hope the families are safe. I hope their children are safe. I hope they got out of there safely, and I'm sorry they lost their home. But there's an important lesson to be learned right now in this situation, and it's to start changing the way you vote, changing the way you look at things, and changing the assholes that you put in charge of all of this. And major things need to change in California, or you're going to get more of this. So yeah, it is a time for finger pointing, and it's a time to see what's really going on.